Hello and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Wednesday, the 1st of February! Hooray! I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Alright, sweeping changes on the channel this week. January is gone. We've got rid of January. February is a new vibe. That's what we're doing. Yeah. January. Oh, I don't even know if I had such a frustrating month even last year. Second worst month for the channel. That's how it ended. So what have we got for coming up today's video? We have got £25 worth of bets for Wednesday. That is stake and a quarter. That is what we've got. First race 1 o'clock Exeter. I've got included a jumps lucky 31. I have not got a Dundalk special because I have not found enough horses at Dundalk I liked. So there's not a Dundalk special. There is a Kempton saver bet. There's a sort of as a lucky 15 made up mainly of Dundalk with one extra Kempton, and there's a combination double, not huge prices, but I still think worth a go between my two favoured races, one at Dundalk, one at Kempton. That is coming up. Should flag early doors. No golf this week, and I'm not sure there'll be any golf for the next few weeks. So all available spare time I've got is basically I'm putting into Cheltenham anti-post research. So no golf this week, definitely no golf next week, and then I'll kind of review depending on how anti-post research is going. I was originally expecting the first anti-post video to be next week to cover the championship races, so kind of main grade ones and stuff. But I may do a little bonus early Cheltenham video just focusing if I've got enough on any horses that I like that are due to run this weekend at Dublin Racing Festival. So it's a 2-day festival at Leicester. It's really good quality racing, and it does generally change some of the pictures in terms of what the picture looks like for Cheltenham. So I may do, and if it is, probably be out some point Thursday, Friday. It'll have to be Thursday, Friday because the meeting starts Saturday. So I'll see. If I've started doing my anti-post research. There's a few horses due to run at Dublin Race Festival, and I think if they run and they run well, it's going to very much change the odds. So there may be a bonus one just for horses for that. I'll keep you updated on that. But yes, we are aiming for a new vibe February. January is not my friend, so we'll do today's the bets, and we'll do a review of Sunday, and also we'll include in that a quick rundown of any stats from January. Full details of my stats, if people have never noticed, are in the description. Every description has got the full breakdown of the history of the channel, month by month, overall running totals. I do a running total per week, per month, per history of the channel, per year, all sorts of things in there. If you have any questions about any of the data, feel free to ask me. It is all there. So officially January finished second worst month since I started the channel, behind November. But it is a funny one, January, because it wasn't a good month. If you were non-Sky, it was even worse. But if you followed everything in the comments, then I think actually it might not have been as bad, and you may have even come out even somewhere. And then if you've done everything on freebets.com that I put out as well, then I actually think you should be ahead. So feel free to let me know if people think they're up, down, left or right from January. So channel stats have it as about £83 loss. But I think there'll be some worse and some better. So it's just, a bit annoying. It's not much easier when you know where everyone's at. But not everyone puts their bets on exactly the same place at the same time with the same odds today. So, all right. So Sunday it had potential, and then it just didn't happen. It was 15 on, 10.02 back is how I made it. This one, first leg rubbish. Then Zwicky won nicely. I think it was 11's SP'd. The Truant then got 6th, with only paid for Sky, so it was a place double because El Jefe was poor. So it was, started off like that was all right. San Pedro ran decent and placed in the first leg. Morningside was unfortunate fall, and I think it was fatally injured, unfortunately. And that's a lot of unfortunates. And then the next two didn't go to plan. Was not plan. And then bet 3, again, you started off place, drifted to 18s, and then that made a mistake, and that was close. That mention in dispatches actually drifted to 100 to 1 and came 4th. So it was, if it was 100 to 1 when I put the bet on, then I'd been saying getting the extra markets on it, but it was it was sort of drifted last minute. So we ended up finishing the week for channel stakes minus about £5. So we ended up losing every single week in January. So yeah, we've only ever once gone on a run like that of where we've lost 4 weeks in a row. So if we do lose this week, that would be a record I don't want, which would be 5 lost weeks in a row. So we really want to turn it around. So context though. Context, I always tell you about context is everything, because I could tell you all sorts of positive things without the bad context. I could tell you bad things without positive context. If you're following the channel, the way I've recorded stats, the last week in December, we won over £100. That is more than we lost in January. So if you are following the channel to the letter, more was won in last week of December than was lost in the whole of January. That's quite important context. So if you are losing or you're winning, you need to look back and go, how long have I been winning? How long have I been losing? Because it might feel like forever. It feels like that, and that actually it's not so bad as what it is. And that's what's really important to context. So I can always draw back to when was the point where it started, the bad run started. For January, it was pretty much the whole month. But yeah, strike rate was down to finish the month 27%. That's despite the first proper week of January was really, really good, really high. So last 3 weeks of January, my strike rate was about 8-10% off the mark, which is really, really significant in terms of you'd have to have a really lucky string of horses together to not do that. So the win percentage was down, the place percentage and the overall was down. The actual win trixies is a small anomaly. We had 5 horses that actually ran under a win trixie because one was a non-runner. 3 of them won. So we actually had a 60% strike rate on wins. I'm not all about that. If there are other channels available, if you like to find shorter price winners, that's what you're there for. I'll chuck in a few every now and again, just a little bit of mixing it up if I really think there's value in that price. Okay, so I think that's covered all the stats. I think we're clear. It weren't good, but we fight on. February, what have we got? We are going into February big. We are starting with a lucky 31. Don't do them very often, particularly when I've not got other combinations. But I went through all the jumps, and there were 5 I liked, and I thought I'm not going to mix about here. I'm just going to stick them in together. We'll go big on the first day of February for a lucky 31. So, and important to note here, bookie advice. Top one is 4 places with most bookies. Most major bookies are 4 places. The bottom one is 4 places with quite a few, including Paddy and Coral. So if you put the bet on with Paddy and Coral, you will get best price guaranteed and the same place terms, all races. Sky is 3rd best because you will get the same place terms, but you won't get best price guaranteed unless you put it on in the morning. If you're in the UK, you can put this on now with Paddy and Coral and you'll get bog on all 5 selections if you do it tonight. I know it is different in Ireland and it's hard for me to keep track of that because I am not based in Ireland. So I need viewers to keep me on track. So 1 o'clock Exeter, Bonza Boy 25s, 225 Air Jesse Mack 14s, 335 Air Kinnegad Lad 12s, 345 Leicester Born to Please 14 to 1, 355 Exeter The Bold Thady 18 to 1. It's a 15 pence each way lucky 31 and a 35p each way double on the pair at Exeter, which are the 2 bigger prices. These ones have all been nibbled in, to be fair, since I started doing research a couple of hours ago. The top and the bottom one haven't in the same, well, not in the same way since I started looking. I think that one's come in since the market opened, but not since I was looking at sort of 7 o'clock. So £10 is your bet for bet 1. Any questions, please ask. So that's £10 on the jumps, £15 on the flat. Bet 2 is this, 3 Dundalk. I couldn't find a 4th, so I've stuck a Kempton one in where I've got 2 in one race. 142 Dundalk Guild, we've taken that before, 20 to 1. 4:02, these next two literally nibbled in just before the video, unfortunately. So I'm not quite sure if that will continue or they might bounce back in the morning. But 2 minutes past 4, the 4:02 Dundalk, Markovic 12-1, 4:37 Dundalk, inflection point 17-2. No extra places on that race anywhere. 7 o'clock Kempton, Naval Commander 11-1, which we've taken before. 20p each way, lucky 15, £6 is your bet. Sky Best, because you'll get an extra place there, and there. Everybody else is basically in the same sort of boat. So it's Sky first, anyone else doesn't really matter. Bet 2. And then we've got bet 3. This is the little combination double that I think is worth a go. 142 Dundalk, Guild at 20s and Chateau Moussoir at 17-2. Not in any luckies. Then the 7 o'clock Kempton, Honour Session 22s and Naval Commander 11s. 4 times 25p each way doubles, £2 is your bet. Sky Advisory as per the same instructions, because you'll get an extra place on both those compared to any other major bookie. So you're definitely advantageous for Sky for bet 3. And then finishing, decent value Kempton Saver lucky. Quite happy with this. 5 o'clock Roman Tempest 28-1. I think that's very overpriced in that classified race. So yeah, I think it's a bit unexposed to a certain degree, I think, and I think that's the distance it wants. It's been tried over a few different ones, but yeah, you get a lot of donkeys in there. That's one that's open to improvement at a nice price. 7 o'clock Kempton Honour Session 22s, 8 o'clock Kempton Largo Bay 11s, and finishing off 8:30 Kempton Chelsea Annie 18-1, 20p each way, lucky 15. And we're putting a single 50p each way single on Roman Tempest as the biggest price of the day, which makes it a £7 bet. Sky Best and then Coral. Coral are 4 places on one of these races. He says one of these races. I can't remember. It's one of them two, I think. Yeah, don't quote me on that. But basically, Sky are best because they are 4 on all of these races. Coral aren't, but other bookies are pretty much standard terms across the board. So yeah, Sky best, Coral next best if you've not got Sky but you've got Coral. £7 your bet. That should take you £25. All right, so I think I've covered the stats. Oh, the only thing I didn't do is comments. So in the comments, Monday, Tuesday, Monday I put 4 horses in. The first one placed after being well backed in at 25-1. I think there was a rule 4 on that though. And then we had 2 duds in the middle, which really underperformed, and particularly Rose of Calanisi. That horse never ever travelled, so it's one to watch out for. It was clearly having an off day. It may well be a bit higher in the betting next time, because it was backed into 15-2. So watch out for Rose of Calanisi. It could be one that could be a nice double figure price next time, but we'll see. And then the last horse, which was Democracy Dilemma. So Democracy Dilemma, which was very 6-runner race at 40-1 when I put it up. I think it was 22's SP. Very close. It was 3rd, just got done for 2nd. So it wasn't paid out in standard market, but very, very, very helpfully. Thank you, Susan, for flagging early doors to people. You could have got 45-1, 3 places on Bet365. I was a bit annoyed and really thankful I was annoyed with myself and thankful that Susan put it in there, because being completely honest, that was the best way to do that bet as a single. And I'd done it myself, and then just because I'd written so much other stuff, I didn't want to go into like any more detail than I already had. So yeah, very soundly shared by Susan, because I punted that myself before it was flagged, and I was very grateful that she did flag it that way. So thank you. And then generally in the comments, then I had 1 today, and it wasn't any good. There's not been many heroes, I don't think, the last couple of days. I think generally speaking, it should be worth shouting out that Mark has had a nice couple of wins, and actually was one of the few people that come out well ahead in January with his own selections. So well done, Mark. You get the January badge of honour, because there's not many folk out there that enjoy January. All right. I think that's it. So I shall be back tomorrow night. Just a heads up, Thursday racing looks much quieter, so we would like to go lower stake. Then Friday and Saturday look busy. Depends on how the fields hold on Saturday, but potentially at Sandown it looks quite good. Dublin Racing Festival at Leopardstown is on Saturday and Sunday. Sunday is better for betting than Saturday in terms of value. There's 3 handicaps on Sunday. They all could be nice fields. Saturday's more of, I guess, more of a spectacle for watching the quality. So I'll be putting some horses out of interest. I did look back last year. It's not like a main festival in terms of loads of betting. I picked out 2 horses on the Saturday and they both got beat last year on the channel. And on the Sunday, I picked out 8. 2 placed, 2 fell, 4 didn't get in the places. So of 10 horses, 2 placed. So I wasn't covered in glory last year at Leopardstown Dublin Racing Festival, but it's not one I'm kind of, it's not one I'd put down. It's not Cheltenham, it's not Ascot, it's not Galway Goodwood. It's and there's better festivals at Leopardstown in the year for betting. But yeah, that is that. All right, I will see you tomorrow night for a quieter day, and then I'll keep you updated about if there's going to be an early Cheltenham Festival video focusing solely on anti-post market for Irish runners. All right, that is me. February, come on, February, do us a favour. All right, see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Bye bye.